Kelsie Kasper, welcome to the Sport Profile.
Thank you so much, Dylan. I'm excited to be here.
I'm super excited for this too. And I just wanted to say, we were just talking before about how you're bouncing around. You got a game tonight right after this. You're always so busy, and I'm very curious how you manage it all.
Well, I think it's a blessing to be busy. You
I
want to be
agree.
busy in this industry.
You bet.
So I'll start with that because that's amazing to be busy. I remember, maybe 2 years ago, I'd only have like 3 to 5 games a month. And now it's getting to the point where I can barely manage my own schedule right now. So it's very exciting. It takes a lot of time management.
Yes.
I'm very type A. I like to be organized. I like to keep a schedule and be on track.
Oh, me too.
So that helps. Yes. So we like to stay organized over here or else it would just be straight chaos.
Oh, for sure. 3 to 5 was only a few. What'd you say last year or a few months ago?
A few years ago.
A few years ago. Yeah.
Yes.
What's it at now?
Probably looking at like 15 to,
Wow.
yeah, probably right around there. It depends. Some months are slower than others.
Sure.
I mean, I think there's once I got up to maybe 20. Like it's gotten up there. So, and some days maybe you have a double header. I kind of count that as 2.
Of course, you have to.
Exactly. You're working 2 games.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it's been up to there, so especially during crossover season when you're calling multiple sports and they all cross over. Those are just naturally more busy times.
Of course. Do you track how many games you've announced?
I keep, I was just thinking about this and doing like kind of like a wrapped end of the year thing. So I need to do it. I keep track of every single game that I call for like the last, I guess I've been totally freelance since 2023. So the last 3 years I've kept diligent track of it. So now this year, I want to track how many games I've called, how many cities I traveled to, like all that stuff.
Oh, you're getting into the cities too.
Yes, I want to do like a whole full recap of the year.
Oh, I love that so much because there's 3 people, including myself, that have ever known to do it. One guy's name is Mike Ashmore, who was like one of my first connections in journalism. My next one is my friend Mike Riccioni. He's a public address announcer, and then I do it. So to hear you do it as well, that's so cool. I love that.
And I'm glad I did it. And honestly, I originally did it just for financial reasons, like just to keep track of how much money I was making, because it really wasn't at first. So that's how I kind of kept track of it all. But now I'm kind of excited that I get to look back and see how much I've grown over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. You touch on something that I have really wanted to dig into within broadcasting, and that is that a lot of broadcasters are actually freelancers. You have done stuff for The Fever. You've done stuff with ESPN. Just finished up college football, I saw. You're doing your stuff with the NBA G League. It's very interesting to know that most broadcasters are freelancers.
Yeah. I would say that most don't have full-time jobs, technically. So I've been freelance the entire time. I don't really have a contract with a certain network or anything like that. But I literally go month to month not knowing what it's going to look like necessarily or how much money I'm going to be making. And it's even kind of looking into next year, I probably have until February planned, and can still accept jobs, still adding to it. But after that, I don't know what I'm doing necessarily.
Right.
So that's kind of the scary part of it.
I know that
not knowing what's coming next, not knowing how much money you're bringing in. You're definitely living life on the edge a little bit.
You better believe it.
But I do love it.
Of course.
I get to make my own schedule. I get to take time off. I get to, in the middle of the week, I can take a Tuesday off and do absolutely nothing and not have to worry about that aspect of it. But a lot of I kind of work just season to season, building my schedule, reaching out to people, and that's kind of just how it rolls. And I've gotten used to it.
Do you feel that's a misconception within the industry? Because I feel like a lot of people will see folks do things on one network, then they'll see them on another network, and then they'll be like, oh, I thought they were there. I thought they were working full time there. Do you view that as a misconception at all?
Yeah, I think people just kind of don't necessarily understand it. I'm contracted, by the Fever,
of course,
season by season. So people think that's my full-time job. It's no, I only do that for 4 seasons, whatever the length of the WNBA season is.
Yeah.
And I'm not a full-time employee of them. So although I do work for them, I'm not necessarily fully employed. I'm only there for, a handful of months and I'm making my game rate per game. I don't make a
Mhm.
salary by any means or have benefits or things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think people kind of don't understand that necessarily about the industry and just how it operates in terms of that.
It takes a special type of person to thrive and love that environment. What about you allows you to feel, I guess, aligned in that type of chaos, as you said?
Yeah, I think it's funny because I described myself at the beginning as a type A person, and yet
Yes.
my my job is like nothing like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess I kind of like I knew I never could do a typical 9 to 5 and
Sure.
sit in the same chair every single day. I think every broadcaster or every person who works in sports will tell you that.
I'd agree.
Um, but I love uh, calling something different every single day. I
Yeah.
love jumping from college to professional, just mixing it up all the time, whether it's the sport, whether it's men, whether it's women, whether it's professional, collegiate, high school. Like, I love covering a vast area of sports and people. You get to know a lot more people that way, and you
Absolutely.
keep it interesting. You keep it on your toes. You learn a lot more. You grow a lot more. So, as much as I love my control and my schedule and everything like that, it's still at the end of the day so much fun to be able to do so many different things in your career.
Yeah. No, for sure. You mentioned before also that you do have the luxury of taking a random Tuesday off. So I'm very curious to know, what is Kelsie Kasper doing on those off days?
Yeah. So one thing I love to do is I work out. I actually have a part-time job where I teach fitness classes.
That's
So I
so
do that on
cool.
the side as well as being a broadcaster. So like I was there today, I taught some fitness classes. So I love to work out. I love to hang out with my dog and my fiance. We love to go on walks together. We love to go get coffee, hang out with friends. And honestly relax. Like,
Yeah.
I love to, like, go get stuff done, and then, like, I'm fully content with just laying on the couch and watching TV or sports the rest of the day, and just giving myself that mental reset of
Yeah.
just relaxing and not having to worry about anything the
I
rest of the
did
day.
see I did see the engagement photos.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Butler, what is a beautiful campus. I've never been there, but I've
Yes.
seen just like pictures and such. Do you guys
Mhm.
meet at Butler? Is that why you
We
chose
did,
to do it
yes.
there?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We both graduated the same year.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
met in college too then?
Yes. Mhm.
That's so cool. I love that. So it's
Yeah.
obviously a big part of your life.
Yes, 100%. I'm love Butler. I'm a huge Bulldogs fan, and it's been great. I still only live like 20 minutes away from it, so we
Oh,
go
no
there a
way.
lot. Yeah.
Do you get to go as fans to games now?
Yeah, except I just haven't been to one in so long. At least for a men's game, I'm usually working most of the time, so I don't get to
Sure.
go. But also this year, I'm excited. I'm calling all the Butler women's home conference games, so I
Ooh.
think it's super cool to be able to go back there. One, call your alma mater, but also call a
Yeah.
game inside Hinkle Fieldhouse is just like the
Oh,
coolest thing ever.
of course. I mean,
Yes.
what an awesome arena.
Yeah.
It's again, I've never been there in person, but I've heard amazing things.
Yes, super historic. They've
Mhm.
held so many events there too. It's super cool to be a part of to either watch or broadcast a game in.
Yeah. You mentioned before also about, just you're content just sitting on the couch watching TV. What are some of your favorite shows that you like to get into now?
Ooh, that's a great question. I do love TV. Like I watch a lot of TV, especially when I travel.
Yeah.
Um, right now, we just finished The Beast in Me on Netflix. I loved that. It's like a little thriller.
I think my parents are watching that.
Um, yeah,
The
that's a
name
good
definitely sounds
one.
familiar.
Watching All Her Faults. I just watched that on Peacock.
Nice.
Watching Landman. Clearly I watch a lot of TV. This is what I do with my free time. But like all-time favorite show, I just rewatched Scandal. That's one of my all-time favorite shows. I just
Oh.
rewatched that one. So yeah, I love dramas and thrillers. Those are good.
You ever heard of The 100?
I have not, no.
I think that's something you would like on Netflix. Little
Okay.
bit of a sci-fi. I've watched it like 4 times through. It's long. There's like 7 seasons.
Okay.
But I
But
think
you need
people
that sometimes.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think also people don't give it an appropriate chance because
Mhm.
they'll like dip after season 3.
Yeah.
or midway through. And I'm like, you don't know half of what's going on here.
You need to be committed to it.
Right, because season 3, I won't spoil it in case you're gonna do it, but there's a
Okay.
very like two people get into a very pivotal relationship that is like iconic within the fabric of the show. And it's like if you
Mhm.
don't see that, you're not invested.
Yeah.
You're not invested afterwards. So that would be my recommendation for you if you'd like to pick up something new for your travels.
Yeah. Definitely. I gotta stick it out to season 3 at least too.
I would say at
Minimum.
like a minimum season 3.
'Kay.
Then you can make like your own decisions.
Perfect.
Right. So there's a certain art to sideline reporting. We've seen it a lot lately with, throughout the NFL season, people running up to athletes, getting them when they're trying to get off the field. What is your secret to getting someone on a sideline report for an interview? Are you bolted in your heels, or what's the strategy for you?
Well, most times I have someone who is helping me wrangle the athlete. So I'm communicating typically with the PR person for that team,
Yeah,
and we are communicating on who we want to interview. Can we interview that athlete? And they will usually come instead of me, someone who they don't know, like kind of running up to them and being like
sure.
shoving a microphone in their face. They usually help me transition and introduce us, and then we come and get the interview. So I normally don't do sideline for football very often, so
Yeah,
I haven't been like
I
in
know
that
that's more play
situation
by
where
play.
one, there's 100 yards that you have to run. I'm just on a basketball
Yes.
court typically,
Yeah.
and usually I have a PR person, so I'm sure it varies sport to sport, but typically you're in communication with someone from that team.
Nice. I feel like that's very interesting to know,
Yeah.
or at least definitely from a basketball perspective, because yeah, you're right. We do see it more in football where people are like bolting on the field trying to get someone. Who have been your favorite players to do a sideline interview with?
Oh, my favorite players. Um, Usually it's ones who either just have like a super outgoing personality, they're not afraid to be funny with it too.
Yeah.
Um, I know like this last season, Sophie Cunningham was always a great interview. She was also like very just kind to all the reporters and journalists and will be like, "Hey, thanks," and like tap you on the back afterwards. And
Nice.
so she was always one that was really fun to interview. Aaliyah Boston's also a really good interview. I feel like she has fun with it, and she's really good on camera. She does
I
broadcasting
was gonna
herself.
say. And so
Yeah,
did
so she's
Sophie.
always yeah, so does Sophie. Yeah, so clearly they got some talent on
Yeah.
camera. So they're definitely very fun to interview.
I was gonna say Sophie did broadcasting for the Suns for a little
Yeah, I
bit.
think it was an NBA team that she did it.
Yeah.
Maybe Warriors too, something like that. I need to look that up, but she definitely
Yeah.
has some
I
experience.
was gonna say, like, it has always fascinated me. You mentioned Aaliyah Boston. It has always fascinated me how professional athletes, when they retire, will always transition to broadcasting. Well, not always, but like it's a
Mhm.
lot of them make that jump, and I'm always fascinated as like what their motivations are. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of times if they just want to stay involved in the world of that sport or the community, honestly, I think you either go into broadcast or you go into coaching. One of the two to
That's
stay
fair.
involved in that aspect of it. Being able to go to a game every single night. They've been doing it for how many years of their life? I don't know if
Right.
they're ready to necessarily give it up. Maybe they can't play physically, but they're not ready to give up that aspect of their life and they want to continue working in some way. So I feel like
Yeah.
it's kind of obvious if you like to be on camera and talk a lot, you go this way, and if you want to kind of want to go to coaching, you go the other way too.
Right.
So I do find it interesting, the people who tend to veer towards broadcasting or want to establish a career in that path as well.
For sure. I'm curious, are there any areas in your life that are like that? Like, I wanted to ask specifically about softball because I know you played it in high school. I didn't know that's something that, has stuck around with you.
Yeah, I think I knew growing up that I wasn't necessarily good enough to play at like the top Division 1 level of
Sure.
softball. But it was the sport that I was obsessed with and passionate about. So I knew I wanted to continue doing it in some way. So when I found this broadcasting thing, I'm like, all right, I definitely want to get into softball. And ever since, like, I knew I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. Like, my number one career goal has always been to broadcast the Women's College World Series. Like,
Yeah.
that is still number one, has been number one, will always be number one. Because like that, when I think of sports when I was a kid and watching them, like that is what I think of. That
Mhm.
is like the epitome of the top. So softball has definitely stayed in my life, stayed in my career. I broadcast a lot of it. I even do some analyst work. That's really the only sport that I hop on as an analyst is
Yeah,
softball. So it's definitely impacted my broadcast. I'm not necessarily sure it's like my favorite one, but it's the one that the most passionate about
for sure.
and feel like I know the most about too.
Yeah, I mean, you played the sport,
Yeah.
obviously, you do know a lot about it. You just mentioned something like, how do you stay involved with everything going on within
Yeah.
different sports leagues? Because, like you just said, whether it's pro, college, high school, you know, you're going through all the levels, you're going through all the sports. How do you stay up to date on everything? What are your secrets there?
That's a great question. You're on Twitter constantly kind of looking at
Yeah.
and staying involved and watching everything. So unfortunately a lot of it has to be on a screen, and
Yes.
constantly being on your phone. But yeah, I mean I follow a lot of accounts. I try to stay up to date with like right now I'm still watching the college volleyball tournament, even though like I'm not broadcasting any volleyball
Yeah.
right now. Like I'm done calling volleyball, but I love college volleyball. So I'm kind of
So
watching
much
it, just
fun.
trying to yes, just trying to keep up with it a little bit. And even like you're kind of thinking one step ahead. Like I just
Hmm.
finished football. I'm in basketball, but I'm kind of thinking of like, okay, softball's not far away. Like
In
who's gonna
theory,
be like some
yeah.
of the bigger teams coming into next season? Like you're kind of trying to think one step ahead and stay up to date a little bit. And yeah, honestly, following up on Twitter, watching games that I'm not broadcasting, reading articles online that journalists are writing
Yeah.
to give a lot of insight. It's kind of like prepping week to week for football. Like you kind of have to start from square one, forget everything from last week, and study up and become an expert on a team in one whole week. So
Yeah.
you kind of just have to give yourself a crash course sometimes
Well, we love
and
a good crash course.
research and spend hours getting to know a team again sometimes.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What are some of your favorite stories to tell during a
Mm,
broadcast? Like, obviously, you're talking about what's going out on the field or on the court, but the role of a sideline reporter sometimes is to like tell the stories that will go beyond the game that's going on in that short amount of time.
yeah.
So I'm curious, what stories really get you hooked and really get you
Yeah.
interested?
Yeah, I think also I try to think of it from a viewer's perspective. Like, what are
Sure.
they going to be interested in? What are they going to gravitate to? Whether it's a lot of times it's like an athlete overcoming something, facing adversity and battling through it, whether it's, injury, sickness, anything like that. Or like I just had this football game where their running back room, 2 of their top players were injured in week 1, and so they had a redshirt freshman and true freshman, like,
Hmm.
being the leaders in the running back room, and they never thought they were gonna get the opportunity, especially this season, to make such an impact at such a young age, but
Yeah.
they were able to do that just simply because of the situation at hand. So, an unexpected, positive, I guess I should say. I love those kind of stories that are really unexpected. And definitely the battling adversity and overcoming something is something I think a lot of people can relate to.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. What have been some examples of that in your own career? I'm curious
Mm,
because everybody everybody loves telling the stories of the others, but I'm curious if there's an example of that for yourself.
yeah. I mean, now you got me thinking, Dylan. I don't know. I think it was a pretty big mental challenge for me to transition from sideline reporting to play by play
Sure.
and putting myself out there to do that. It was very nerve wracking. Um, and it was just like a lot of unknown. Like you don't really
Yeah.
know until you do it, until you experience it, which is, you know, you're very vulnerable in that situation and you really have to put yourself out there and commit to it, whether it's just making a big call and just like letting loose and doing it, let go and make that call. It's really scary sometimes, especially when you're first doing it and putting yourself out there on such a large platform.
Yeah.
So that was tough for me when I first started. And you put yourself out there and you're exposed to critiques and people's,
Sure.
opinions and things like that. But you're at a stage in your career where you're trying to learn and trying to grow, and you're going to make mistakes. So,
Yeah.
it's definitely a tough situation to be in where you're trying your best and you're
Yes.
trying to improve, but also you're going to make mistakes and people hear those mistakes and let you know that you made those mistakes.
Yeah.
So kind of like that first few months where I was really committing to the play by play, it was really tough. I'm like, do
Mm,
I really want to do this? Like, is this something I'm truly passionate about? And I'm going to have to commit a lot of time and a lot of work
right.
into having and building a successful career.
So with all of that though, how are you staying grounded and kind of, you know, dispelling the chaos a little bit?
Yeah.
Because, that's a lot to do. You were just speaking about putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, um,
Hmm.
being open to critique, which, I mean, I feel like in this field you have to be if you're gonna
Yeah.
improve at all. But for you personally, like how are you staying grounded and, kind of true to yourself?
Yeah, I think, that was something that I've had conversations with other play-by-play broadcasters, and one of, like, my favorite quotes, Lisa Byington said it to me. She's like, "You don't want to," and I'm paraphrasing, but she's like, "You don't wanna live off the compliments, and you don't wanna die by the critiques." Like, you can't
Yeah,
get too high from all the compliments and everyone saying, "Oh, you did such a good job." Like, you can't live off of that, you know?
sure.
But you also can't crumble and fall when people are criticizing you and attacking you and don't like the way you call a game. So you try to stay level, you try to stay grounded, you try to, or at least I do this, like really the opinion that matters is the people who are hiring me or my
Sure.
producer or my analyst. Um, I really value their opinion, even peers, mentors in the field.
Absolutely.
Like those are the opinions that you need and the feedback that you need to be getting and not taking, value from random people online, whether it is complimenting you or critiquing you,
Yeah.
so I really resonated with that because sometimes I do find myself like needing some verbal gratification and needing those compliments to just keep
Yeah.
going. But it's like, okay, no, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You need to maybe watch your own film and see where you can improve or give yourself some grace in some situations or compliment
It's the
yourself. Like, wow, I
hardest
did a
thing.
yeah, it is.
It
And
is the
like,
toughest thing to do.
yes, like, oh, I had a really great call there, or like, yeah, Kelsey, that really didn't sound good. You could have phrased that a lot better, or you could have integrated a story right there and you didn't. Um, so yeah, kind of being your own critique a little bit rather than living off of other people's.
Yeah. Is that is that something that you've developed over time? Like, how do you feel like you are
Oh,
at
I'm
that,
not
like
perfect at
yeah,
it.
no,
I'm
well,
still
yeah,
learning
nobody
it.
is.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you learned that for yourself? It's different for
It's
everybody, but
tough.
what's
Yeah.
what's kinda helped you?
I think I was someone too who really cared what people thought about me,
Sure.
and that is something that has had to change. Like I've had to develop thicker skin.
Yeah.
I've had to have some honest conversations. I think like people in my life I lean on too. Like even my fiance, he's like, you can't let that get you down. Like you just
Yeah.
can't. Like you need to put it behind you and you need to move forward. Like you can't be thinking about that constantly because it's just going to run in your head and bring you down. So
Yeah.
I've had to have some people help me and encourage me and move forward. But I mean, I'm still learning, still growing, and it still affects me to this day.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious what you are kinda up to away from the field, away from the court. The minute you end a broadcast and you actually have some downtime, what's going through your head?
Oh, usually I'm like, all right, what am I doing tomorrow? Like,
Just already
I
moving
have
on.
where's my to-do list? Like I have one on my phone, I have a daily planner.
Same.
Um, but yeah, it's like I'm usually trying to think of what's next.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm working 6 straight days and then I have like 4 straight days off. It's kind
Yeah.
of like I'm sure like nurses or doctors have kind of the same schedule like that too, but
Yeah.
it's like, okay, can I go home and can I relax right now? Or do I have to go home and get something done?
Yeah.
Or do I need to start researching about something? Or do I need to do a load of laundry? Do I need to meal
That
prep for the week.
reminds me.
Do I need to do wedding planning? Like there's so many things going on in my
That
head right
too.
now. So it's a very busy time in my life. And also like I have friends who are getting married, weddings on weekends, sports are on weekends.
Of course.
I just had two nieces born within the last few
I
months. And so
know.
it's like,
Congratulations.
thank you. There's just so many like personal things going on in my life right now too that I want to commit my time and energy to, and it's so hard to balance. So I've had to say no to games, I've had to say no to events,
Yeah.
and just kind of playing back and forth, kind of picking my battles and
Yeah.
trying to keep my head on straight.
How has wedding planning been? Oh my goodness. I can't even
Oh,
imagine.
it's been good. I love it. I think I said at the beginning, I'm a planner, so like
Yes.
I have enjoyed at least the process of it. I'm
Oh
planning
my
my own
goodness.
wedding, so
Wow.
we are less than 5 months out. So it's been great.
That's so fun. That
Yeah.
what's been the best part and like the most challenging?
Ooh, the best part was picking out my dress. That was so fun. That was
Of
just a fun
course.
day. Got to pick
Yeah.
out the dress, try a bunch on. Challenging. Also just like you're communicating with so many people,
Yeah.
and I have so many emails from work and I'm constantly communicating with people from work
Yes.
or on the work side of things, and I'm
Yeah.
having to do that too for this now too. So that's just kind of exhausting having to reach out to so many people and vendors and scheduling meetings and all that stuff. It's kind of like work times two,
Oh, I can
essentially.
only
Yeah.
imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
wedding planning is I mean, I haven't done it, but like wedding planning is, I'm sure, a beast of its own.
Oh, it totally is. 100%.
Yeah.
But we're rolling through it. It's gonna be great.
I mean, like you said, you what, 5 months out?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So days, it's coming up.
It'll be here before we know it, Dylan.
I
It'll
am
it'll be here.
I am very confident about that, given how fast just this year has gone by.
Yeah. So
And
fast.
I know, and I think this year more than any, I've really felt that. It's like, damn,
Mhm.
this one went fast. I
Like,
don't know.
literally, I was like, "Oh, that's not until December 12th." Like, "Oh my god, December 12th is, like, tomorrow." Like, I was thinking about
Yeah,
something so in the future, and I'm like, I feel like I'm 2 or 3 weeks behind right now. Like, I'm just not
really.
ready for
Oh no.
Christmas, the end of the year. Like, I feel like I'm playing catch up right now, but
I feel that in a way too,
and maybe it's just
because
because the seasons are crossing right now. Like, football and basketball and
yeah,
volleyball, they're all coming together, and it's just a lot.
yeah, I can definitely understand that. And I also feel like a sort of 2 weeks out, like I feel like New Year's is very, or forget New Year's, Christmas. I feel like
Mhm.
Christmas is very short, is very soon on the schedule as well.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So, Kelsie, the last question I do ask everybody, just your professionalism aside, like your career as a broadcaster aside, just strictly you as a person. Kelsie Kasper, what do you like most or admire about yourself?
Ooh, what do I like most or admire about myself? Hmm, put me on my toes, Dylan. See, this is what I like to ask athletes. I don't like to ask it about myself.
And that's exactly why I do it.
I think sometimes, even though I don't think I'm necessarily confident, there takes a level of confidence to do this job
Yeah.
and put yourself out there, kind of what we were talking about earlier. And
Yeah,
I'm really
absolutely.
proud of myself to accept that challenge and to go out there and try to do my best on the biggest stage. So I think that takes a lot of confidence, being vulnerable, um, and just attacking every single game with the same mindset. Whether you're calling high school sports, which I love to do,
Yeah.
or high level college, like attacking each game with the same mindset, the same confidence, the same work ethic, um, and just being consistent with that.
I think that's incredible. I really do, because confidence in this industry and landscape is definitely tough, especially when you're kind of controlling your own destiny as you are as a freelancer. I certainly know that as well. But yeah, confidence and vulnerability is definitely something that's a work in progress.
Hmm.
But Kelsie, I can't thank you enough for coming on and, sharing your story.
Of course. Thank you so much, Dylan, for having me on here. This was super fun. So I appreciate it.